Pivoting is part of the plan. And the sooner we accept that, the sooner everything will get better and we'll be okay and not too much in our minds. Because I think it is so unserious and funny when we really try to plan out something so far in advance, step by step by step, when in fact so many things will change, so many things will evolve, we will evolve, and then we try to keep the same exact plan when it was never meant to work, and that is totally fine. But it's not changing the destination, we're just changing the route. Boom. So let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Branson. I'm an actor, singer, dancer, songwriter, influencer, and everything else in between. And I just really wanted to make this video because there have been so many pivots and changes in my life lately. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me talk about it because I feel that there are a lot of people that may want to hear this, because even me in the past, when I've changed plans or maybe took a different direction a certain way, I was like, okay, this is horrible and everything is going wrong. But in reality, everything always ends up working out, and it will. So the first thing I have for this part of the video is life gives you life gives you new information that you didn't have when you made the original plan. And that is so true, because think about a time where you genuinely thought something was going to work out or pan out this specific way, but then it didn't, and you got some new information before it went the way it did, and you were like, oh, so this is how that works. Yeah. You're constantly learning. We're constantly growing, and once we get new information, it's only helping us to really see the destination, to see where we're going, because there were so many, I don't know, let me think about a time where I just like, what can I talk about? Well, even me, like, for example, when I studied abroad in South Korea a few years ago, it honestly was a whole different experience, and so much different than I thought from initially, because obviously for me at the time, I was really into my K-pop, my girls Blackpink. I didn't play about them. I actually saw them in Seoul. So yes. Anyways, but as someone, I loved K-pop. I still like K-pop, but I used to like listen to it all the time. And then K-dramas were my thing. Like, I did not play. So when all you're consuming is entertainment and consuming beauty and consuming music and consuming this perfect, because well, I don't know if you do know, but in Korea, they don't play about the beauty standards. They don't play about the media and how everything is presented. So me getting off that plane and actually like going in Korea and seeing like regular everyday people, it was like, oh, right, so that is just television, just like how it is in the States. Because even though I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that see Hollywood movies from other places and then they come here and they're like, oh, so you guys don't all look like, I don't know, Brad Pitt or something. No. Yeah, so it was just so many things so many ways that I had to pivot and things that I had to learn and unlearn, because I'm over here thinking, okay, this is how life is going to play now. I'm thinking I'm going to have me a little K-drama moment, but no, I didn't have my cutesy little 1-2 K-drama moment. I had my life is happening. Come on, who are you? Let's get it together. And then on top of that, I was still doing school. So had to get that done. I had to actually drop a class because a whole different situation. But anyways, life was life at that time, but I wouldn't change it for a thing. And it was so good. It was so good. I recommend it. Anybody, if you're in school or if you're not in school, travel, study abroad, save up that money, okay? And don't say you can't, because you can. You can, and you will. If you want it, you will find a way. Okay. But yeah, you're always going to constantly get new information. And once you get that new information, you take that in your brain, add that to your bucket and think, okay, does this have to change? Do we have to go around this? Can I work away? Is this a detour? Or is it giving what are we doing? Is it giving hydroplane? Oh, not hydroplane. Okay. The water is low enough okay. Right. Anyways. Yeah, so that's that section of that part. That's that part. That's that section. Y'all know what I mean. If you really are watching these videos, thank you. And you get me. Because if you're really watching, the way that I speak, it just comes out. So sometimes it may not make a little sense, but we're still here. You get me? I see you. We see each other. We good. Anyways, so the next part is adapt. Okay, I have my notes right here, by the way. Adapting is often smarter than forcing something that isn't working. And you know that saying, or like the quote, I think the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and expecting different results. And that is so true, because if you're trying to do something or get better at a certain task or a certain you're trying to accomplish anything in your life, and you've been trying to, you know how people, they go on the grooves and they say wake up at 5 a.m. or 5 a.m. and da da da, knowing that you're just not, that's just not who you are, and that is okay. But I have never tried like a wake up like that early challenge. I mean, I did it in high school, but that doesn't really count because you know I had to be up for that bus, okay? Because that bus was going to leave at 6:30. Anyways, but in my adult life, I haven't done the whole 5. But just other things that a lot of people will recommend. But some things, certain things do not work for everybody. And it's you finding that thing and trying to force something when it's obviously not working. And I will say try, though. I will definitely say, try something out and persist, because anytime you do something in the beginning stages, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be like, what is this? What's going on? I recently went to a networking event yesterday, and at the end, I was so happy that I went, because I was like, oh my gosh, I made some connections. Like, film industry, we're doing it. But going in there, I was like, this is uncomfortable. Why am I doing this? Why am I forcing myself to literally go somewhere where I know no one and I'm talking to random strangers? However, I did have a friend with me, so that helped me so much. That helped me tremendously. But I was also like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, I don't know if I can go in there. Like, can we just go home and watch TV? Can we watch a show, a movie, anything else but be here and have to talk to people? But I was like, Branson, stand up. Let's go. So I'm saying this to say that anything in the beginning is going to be uncomfortable. But by the end of the networking event, I had a good time. I met some creative people. I'm so happy, got some connections, and hopefully you can make some friends out of this, because I don't go into networking just only wanting to network, because at the end of the day, these are people like that are also creative, that also love to make things like I do. So it's the same hobby, same interest, just as if I was meeting them in a random grocery store aisle. But it turns out we're meeting them at an event for the people that want to do the things that I want to do. So that was amazing. But it was a little uncomfortable. Okay. But we got through it, and gonna keep going, keep being consistent, keep showing up. But back to the topic at hand, forcing something that isn't working. So like I said, things will be uncomfortable in the beginning, but after you get through those stages and you're like, you've been doing this for a while, and you're just like, okay, look, you're just trying to drill it down your throat, but it's not for you and it's not working. It is okay to adapt. It is okay to evolve, because knowing that you've tried, you put in the work, you put in the effort, and this way of going may have worked for somebody else, but what works for other people does not work for you. What works for me might not work for my friend, my bestie, a family member, whoever. And it's okay. That is totally fine. And this is why we all find our own way. And this is why I just love media nowadays, because back in the day, I'm saying back in the day like I'm a billion years old, but when there was cable, hello, I mean, there still was cable, but everybody was watching the same things, or even like we did have channels, because I grew up with a lot of channels, so there was a lot of channels you could watch. But some older teachers that I had in theater school, they were talking about, we only had like 3 or 4 or 5 channels. I'm like, ooh, so y'all really was all watching the same thing. Okay, when I tell you, them people were probably all tuned in, like talking the next day. You heard what happened? See, now you're lucky if you can even find one show that somebody else watched that's not mainstream. You heard blah, blah, blah. They're looking at you like, but I'm not gonna lie, I do the same thing. Anyways, that's a whole rant. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that's the thing I like about media nowadays, is there's so many things you can just choose what you want to consume. Like, somebody's watching this and they've watched me in another video, and they watched me in another video, or somebody's watching this right now saying, I don't like him. I'm sorry. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm myself. I am me. I am here. But, we're not everybody's cup of tea, okay? I may not be your cup of tea. And, others may not be my cup of tea, but we're here. And yeah, so you're allowed to adapt. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to be what you want to be, who you want to be. And if that involves changing, that involves changing. And what I really want to just say is you're allowed to change the plan. I'm just letting you know that you are allowed. And you're like, Branson, thanks, but like, I just, no. Tell yourself, okay? Because I really have to talk to myself like I'm another person and be like, look, like I'm my friend. Because when I give my friends the advice, I'm like, no, like, let me tell you what you've done and how you got through them and how you're going to get through this. And let me let you know that because you are going to be good. And it's so funny when I tell my friends stuff and in the moments they're like, no, blah, blah, blah. Then like a week later when they killed it or whatever it was that they're doing, or when the thing does not matter at all anymore, they're like, yeah, I was so dramatic. I'm like, you know what? I get it too. Because I get there. I get to my dramatic moments. But you're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to change. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay? You are amazing. We are amazing, and we're going. We're going after it, okay? I'm letting you guys know. I document my journey in this, okay? If you watched other videos, you know like a lot about me, so you're gonna see. And I'm on this film, acting, career, entertainment journey, singing, dancing, okay? Because let's not. Go watch my YouTube shorts. I post singing and dancing and other videos over there. Um, yes, but I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!